Hi guys. We're going to just bring attention to some of these photos, surveillance that were found in Maleah Davis's home, around the neighborhood, the apartment area, and in the parking lot. As we know, it has been confirmed that Maleah Davis remains were found and confirmed it was her. We know that yesterday, Monday, the 3rd of June, her remains were confirmed. But as we go back to the photos, on the 30th, we see Maleah Davis running behind Darion Vince on the morning of the 30th of April at 7:54:03 a.m. in the morning. Now, some of the surveillance photos are not being released. They're being kept, I guess, for evidence, and somehow these photos are trickling out to the public. I don't know if they were deliberately put out there, but they're coming out in bits and pieces, a picture here, a picture there. But they're not showing the true story of events. They don't show everybody leaving and coming. And we know there are a lot of people coming and going around that apartment area. The mother coming and leaving. We've seen the photo or video of Vince leaving that morning, close to 8 o'clock in the morning. Leaving again after dropping Maleah off at the home. But that's on the 30th of April, and that was the last known photo as we know of. Unless they have more photos that Maleah was alive the next day and seen on surveillance outside, coming and going. We haven't seen that yet. But let's jump to the 2nd of May. Okay, the 30th of April, she was last seen alive, as we know. The 2nd of May, around 7:25 a.m. in the morning, Darion was seen leaving with the 2 boys. His son and Brittany's older son were leaving. They were leaving to go to daycare and school. As Darion has a routine, and everybody's saying he took care of the kids and took them to school, daycare, before he left for work or on the way to his job. Now they're all saying that. But as we look at this picture and we look back on the 30th of April, and then we come back to the 2nd of May, Maleah was not seen leaving that apartment on the 2nd of May at 7:25 a.m. in the morning. Darion did not have Maleah with him. Now, where was she? Where was Maleah? Well, it seems like, to me, in my opinion, and maybe in a lot of people's opinion, alleged, we have to say that, but it is my opinion, and maybe others, like I said, that Maleah has been dead for some time. Now, she was not left in that apartment by herself, surely, alive. But he was seen bringing the 2 boys out and taking them to daycare. Like Maleah should have been going to her daycare, her school. But she was not with Darion. And that is very odd to me, that he would leave her in the home by herself. So where was she all this time? Where was Maleah? Now, the 30th of April, she was last seen coming home that early morning before Brittany left for her flight to Massachusetts for her father's funeral. Think about it, guys. Think about it. On the 3rd of May, Darion was seen carrying a laundry basket with a trash bag inside we believed was the body of Maleah. In our opinion, we believe that's how Maleah got out of that home without anybody seeing her. Unless they got footage of some other time. This is when he got Maleah out of the home and put the laundry basket in his car and came back a few minutes later and left around 6:40 that evening, p.m., with his son. Only his son. He did not have the older boy, Brittany's older son, because apparently the bio father had picked him up. And of course, Darion said to him that Maleah has the flu. But Maleah was not seen leaving that home that evening with Darion. We all know she didn't have the flu, but that's what he said to the bio dad. And whoever was with Craig at the time, there was a woman with him. I don't know if it was the aunt coming to pick the children up, but were not allowed to see Maleah and did not attempt to get in the house to see Maleah, to say hi, to see how are you, hope you feel better, anything like that. Darion did not allow them to see her. Now I'm not sure if they were outside the house, they weren't allowed in. Their son was just given to them by the doorway. But I just find that odd that they would not demand to see Maleah. But anyway, that's not here or there right now. So Maleah was dead for several days before the 3rd of May. Yeah. So it leaves the conclusion to she could have been killed on the 30th of April, that day she came home that morning, maybe before Brittany left to get her flight. And this just brings a lot of attention to where did he hide her body? Where was her body? Because she has a young kid and a 7-year-old running around that home. Where was the laundry basket kept most of the time? Did Maleah have a room of her own, or did she share it with the little boy? And did they have a basement and storage unit? And maybe that's where he kept her. But I'm just bringing this to your attention because there's a few of us thinking the same thing. That Maleah was surely dead before the 2nd of May. Before Darian was seen with the laundry basket on the 3rd of May. Maleah was dead before the 2nd of May. We come into that conclusion is because on the 2nd of May, she was not seen that morning at 7:25 a.m. She was not with the 2 boys and Darian, and he was taking them to daycare, to school, wherever he was taking them that early in the morning. Maleah was not with him. So guys, what do you think about that? This kind of has to be true. We're just trying to narrow the time scale down to when she was killed and last seen. And it surely was before the 2nd of May. What's he gonna say? Where was Maleah? Where was Maleah that day? On the 2nd of May, 7:25 a.m. when Darian was seen leaving with the 2 boys and no Maleah. Nowhere to be seen. And she did not show up at school. Apparently, the last day she was ever at school was the 26th of April. And Brittany said she was going to school every day. So, where was she? Where was she all day? If she was supposed to be at daycare, which I find that odd because, she's got a poorly head. She just had surgery. Maybe she shouldn't be going to school because, playing around, she could easily hit her head. So maybe it was not a good time for her to go to school. But the point is, Brittany said she was going to daycare. She was going to school. So I don't know which part makes sense to me or to you guys. Now, who's lying? Why didn't you just say she wasn't going to daycare? Because of, because of her head injuries and her surgeries. It wasn't safe for her to do so. Or she was just a little poorly to go. But no, you say that she was going and he snuck her in the house and took her from daycare and snuck her in the house. No, you said that, Brittany. You said that. So you should have said it the other way around. It would have maybe made more sense. But no, it wouldn't have made no sense, would it? Because you wouldn't have got another alibi. So, and there was a rumor, and this is a rumor. I don't know if it's true. So it's not fact, but I'm just going to put it out there. Someone said that Brittany called Darian to come home from work that day. Now remember, Brittany said he only went to work for an hour. He was only at work for an hour. Now, she called him to come home. because there was an emergency. Oh yeah, this might not be true, but then again, it could be true. It's a rumor, and that's what was said, that she called him to come home. It was an emergency, and that's why he only went to work for an hour. But I don't know what time that happened, because he was seen bringing Maleah home. He also was seen leaving, but came back a little while later, like an hour. So, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but, you know, the basket and the black trash bag was seen on the 3rd of May, leaving that apartment with Darian Vince holding the basket as tight as he could, because he's got a grip on that basket. He's got a grip on that basket. And he was seen coming back a little bit later. So that means that this basket was put in the car for a few hours, because he was not seen with his little kid at that time. I didn't see the picture of his little kid, but he came back moments later and left with his young child, like I said, about 6:40 in the evening, apparently to go to the airport to pick up Brittany. But this is a little odd as well, because Brittany said her plane was delayed. Her plane was delayed. So, why didn't she call him? Or did she text him or anything like that? Because if somebody is coming to pick you up at the airport at a certain time, your flight was coming in and it was delayed, you would text or call him back and say, hey, I won't get in until about 10 o'clock at night, instead of 8 o'clock at night. She didn't tell him that. She must have told him that, because she's saying that he didn't show up to the airport to pick her up. Now, this is 10 o'clock. You got into the airport around 10 o'clock at night, and you didn't call Darian to tell him your plane had been delayed at the airport, wherever you were, in Charlotte. I find that odd. I mean, I didn't hear her saying anything about calling Darian up to confirm that the flight is on time. So, and then she comes up with the story, you know, he didn't show up at the airport, and then she waits 2 hours, and then in the meanwhile she's texting her mother or talking to her mother saying, you know, he hasn't showed up yet, he hasn't showed up. And then she finally calls her mother, tells her, can you pick me up? And then her mother picks her up finally, but it takes her an hour to get to the airport. It's a horrible night. It's raining. It's pouring down with rain. It's bad weather, so the mother said, Barbara. And she picks her daughter up at the airport. And then they are saying, well, maybe he's riding around. He's riding around? What, riding around the airport? Who rides around the airport? Didn't you tell him that your plane was late? And what time was he supposed to pick you up at the airport? I'd like to know. What was the real time he's supposed to pick you up at the airport? Seeing as that your plane was late. 2 hours delay. Something like that. He's riding around somewhere? Yeah, he sure was riding around somewhere. You got that one right. You got that one right. Now, why did you say that for? He's riding around somewhere. And you are looking for his location, but can't find his location. Now, you two must be really suspicious of each other to want to know and got your phones hooked up where you can find each other's location. Yeah. So now we know she keeps an eye on his location, wherever he is, because she said so. She said she was looking for his location, but cannot find it. Oh, okay. Well, that can be easily proved whether you were looking for his location. Because, you know, the police will look into your phones and they probably got all your texts, messages, whatever was activity that was going on your phone. You know, way back when, you know, days ago, a week ago, a month ago, I don't know. You know, however far they want to go back to. That can be proved. And so, as I say, guys, as we know, you know, the mother says they go back to the apartment. There's a little light on, but nobody's answering the door. I don't know how long they stayed there for, but it was raining, it was pouring, it was horrible weather. So they go back to the mother's house, and we all know that, you know, she leaves that morning. So the mother says, tries to find out, goes to the police station. We're not sure which order it was in and what she was doing, how long she was there. Obviously the mother wasn't there because Brittany says she went to the police station, reported them missing. I don't know apparently what she said, but apparently she didn't fill the forms out right. Like I said before, if you go to the police station and say your daughter's missing, your family is missing, you know, your boyfriend and your other son is missing, and you haven't heard from them, and they're not answering their phone, you will stress to them they could be in a ditch somewhere. You don't know where they are. You're not going to say, hey, they've been kidnapped, because you don't know, do you? Right? But you say they're missing. They could be in a ditch somewhere. You know, and the police will give you all the forms to fill out. That don't make sense that the police would make a big mistake like that. And of course her mother was thinking the same thing. So her mother don't even realize, did she ever fill a form out? Did she ever fill the form out? Did she ever go to the police station? Well, that can be proven. They got cameras in there. So we don't know if she ever did fill that paperwork out. But the mother made sure, the mother Barbara, made sure that these papers were filled out the proper way. Thank you, mother. Thank you for taking charge and having your thought process the same way we're thinking. That you've made sure this paperwork was filled out properly and the alert was out. And what was Brittany doing? Biding time? Was she? That's my suspicion. That's my opinion. That she was giving Darian time to do whatever he had to do. I don't know if this puzzle's coming together the way I'm thinking, but it sure looks like it. Now guys, this is just a short video, and we can have your comments and, you know, like my video and share and sub to my channel if you'd like, please. But this just little part of these last few days, from the 30th to the 3rd, from the 30th of April to the 3rd of May, is very suspicious. Very. And I believe Maleah to be dead a few days before the 3rd of May. She was already gone. She was already dead. She probably killed on the 30th. Now, like I said, Brittany hasn't got no alibi. She can't prove this and can't prove that because she was obviously alone with that child, but stating that she did not know the child was in the apartment. Yep, that's her statement. Well, that's not going to wash. That's not going to wash unless Darian admits to it all. Darian holds the key. He is going to make you or break you when he decides to give his lawyer the info they really need to get him off. Not completely. He won't be off with disposing of a body, tampering with a body, or anybody else involved. But he might not be charged with murder if he says the child was dead when he came back and he covered up for Brittany. Just my opinion, just putting it out there. Scenarios of what could have went down. Because this poor child is dead. She's dead at the hands of these so-called parents. You know. I mean, if you see the pictures I'm going to put up and hear what people said that he, you know, the stepdad, whatever you want to call him, at the time, was a loving stepfather, and you show the pictures of him taking care of Maleah, but we're not sure if I see any pictures of Brittany doing the same thing. There's no, I don't know, there probably is out there, but at the moment there's no loving pictures of Brittany and videos of Brittany with her baby girl the way there is Darian. Darian's in the car, he's with Maleah, he's playing music, he's singing to her, he's at the birthday party singing, holding her. He's seen other places holding her, playing with her. He's seen at the beach, the ocean side, playing with Maleah. He's seen quite a lot. He's seen coming home, bringing the kids home. He's seen taking them to daycare at different times. But where is Brittany? Where is this mother of these children doing any chores as such? Taking your kids to daycare, a lot of people do. Picking them up or dropping them off. A lot of the times one parent will do one or the other. Where are all these photos of this so-called loving mother, Brittany Bowen? I'll leave you with these photos and take a look at them and make your own mind up when this child, Maleah Davis, was really truly killed. And thank you for stopping by.